that. And because today, ladies and gentlemen and everybody else, we are setting up the Viewer's Choice event because we hit the members goal for December before that big member bomb expired. As you can see, we're sitting at around 507 members. And you might be confused because you might be saying, wait a minute, 507. Weren't we at like 500 something and then we went above 600 and you said we hit the goal? Yes. Here's what happened for those who were not here on Christmas Eve and, of course, who have no idea what the heck happened with the total. So, we were sitting at just around 500 or so members. We were just under 100 away from hitting the goal and being able to do a Viewer's Choice Marathon as the reward for hitting the members goal for December. Now, I knew that there was a bomb of members that had been gifted at the very end of November. It was around the 24th of November. So I knew they were going to expire. It was about 100. And I said, well, if we don't hit this goal by the time those 100 members expire, there's no way we're going to hit the goal. No one's going to come in, and we're not going to get over 200 members by the end of the month. So I kept warning everyone, and admittedly, people rallied. We ended up getting like over 520. I think at one point we were like 530 members, and it looked like we were doing good. And then it just kind of leveled, and that was it. And I said, all right, it's not the end of the world. It's no big deal. Please, I'm not disappointed at all. This has been an outstanding month. You guys have rallied and supported me so well. No complaints. All right, I had a great month. And then all of a sudden, on Saturday, during the WWE King of Christmas Tournament Sims, it was kind of a pre-Christmas miracle because we had both Team Ico Gamer and Email showed up, and each of them gifted around 50 memberships or so, which then propelled us past the goal, all right, way past the goal, into over 600 members territory, which locked us in, which means we're doing it. The Viewer's Choice event is absolutely positively happening. We're going to set it up this morning, in fact, okay? Right here on the show. So that was amazing. People were so excited and everything. But what ended up happening, which we knew was going to happen, is over Christmas yesterday, that 100-member bomb expired. So 100 people who had gifted memberships, they all expired and they lost them. So we went from like just over 600 members down to 507, all right? Now, don't worry. We hit the member bomb. We're good. We are secured. Viewer's Choice is happening. In fact, I can tell you it's likely happening second half of January. We're going to start with the Viewer's Choice playthrough. Okay? So no worries. It's 100% locked in. We're going to set it up today. But then you might look at the leaderboard today and say, well, what is this already? There's another goal. Like, what the hell is this? Well, don't worry. This is not a tier 2 goal. This is not me asking for anything crazy. This is a preview of January. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, we got a few more days till the end of the year. Correct? And typically, you'll have some people swinging by to say, missed you for Christmas, but happy holidays or whatever. You may have some good sentiment. You never know, right? And because of that, with so many days left, you got Monday and Tuesday. I'm not here Wednesday. Then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 5 more days, essentially, before we hit January and the new year, correct? I didn't want to have anyone who decided to maybe become a member or maybe give some memberships now to feel like it was just being thrown into the wind and counting for nothing. I wanted the opposite. I want you to feel like no matter when you're contributing to my channel, that it counts towards something awesome. All right? So I already have decided to start with January. Okay? So how does this work? Allow me to explain. We had an idea. All right? And this idea was a pretty unique and fun one a couple months ago. And it was a result of my Black Friday event that I did here on DSP Gaming. Do you remember what it was? So basically on Black Friday, I did something unique. I did a special React event that you guys had wanted to see. It was me reacting to old-time advertisements from the 1980s and 90s, and in some cases the 2000s, and some were American and some were international, and it was a really great marathon. In fact, we barely got through half of the advertisements that I even had to watch, and we had a great time. It was just so unique and different, and everyone enjoyed it, okay? So at that time, as people were thinking of, future events, and some people were like, would you periodically react to advertisements? And I was like, I don't think it really makes that much sense. Time of the year wise, what makes sense to do it? Obviously, Black Friday. It's the day when everyone goes out shopping and there's the most advertisements in the country and in the world. That would make sense to be the time to do it. But then someone actually, and I apologize, I did not notate who came up with this idea, but someone came up with a really great idea. So listen up. In February of every year, In the United States, we have something that's called the Super Bowl. You may have heard of it. Have you ever heard of the Super Bowl before? I have. It is the biggest sports event that we have in this country. It's bigger than the World Series. It's bigger than the NBA Finals. It's bigger than March Madness. It's bigger, literally, it's bigger than anything, okay? The Super Bowl is the final championship game of American football, also known as the NFL or National Football League. The Super Bowl is the biggest advertising event of the year in the United States. Companies pay more to have their advertisements run on TV during the Super Bowl than they do any other time of the year. It's that big, okay? It's so big that they have halftime shows, all right, that they deem so many people are watching this halftime show, they don't even, get musicians that are pertinent to people who watch sports. They realize so many people who don't watch sports watch the Super Bowl. They usually get celebrity-level musicians on there that people wouldn't even like if they like football, okay? So, that being said, someone came up with the idea that what I could do is a Super Bowl special marathon, all right, but not related to the sport, okay? I will dress up. I have football jerseys. I have 3 of them. I'll dress up in football attire, and I will alternate with that attire all day long. I will get various different football-themed things. Maybe I'll buy, one of those hats that has the two sodas you can put in the silly straw hat. You drink out of them. I'll get snacks and various things that you would eat while watching football, American football, probably some nacho cheese and, other snacks. Maybe I'll order a pizza, right, and eat that. And this marathon will be me reacting to Super Bowl advertisements from yesteryear. There are an insane amount of Super Bowl ads from yesteryear that would be available to react to. And of course, if we run out and we get through all the Super Bowl stuff, we could just go back to regular advertisements again. Okay? I think this is unique. First of all, I've never done a sports-related event ever in the history of me being a content creator. Not once have I ever did anything in regards to sports. That's number one. Number two, you guys loved the ad reaction so much in November that I felt this would be an insanely cool event to do for something themed that's very pertinent to something that happens here every year in the United States, all right? And basically, I think because we're going to react to old stuff, I should be fine, okay? If we were reacting to new Super Bowl ads, forget it. That would be the end of it. I mean, copyright strike up the ass. But the thing is, these old ads, as you saw with the Adpocalypse, reaction that I did back in November, 9 times out of 10, people don't care about old ads. Those are old campaigns that have expired. No one gives a shit about them. So basically, it's kind of fair use to just react to whatever you want. So as long as we're reacting to old Super Bowl stuff, we should be okay. From what I don't understand, there's entire channels that are kind of listing old ads, and they have old Super Bowl ads available to watch and playlists and stuff that we'd be able to do, okay? Now, in addition, if you guys so chose and wanted to see me perhaps play a sports-related video game or two, perhaps a football game during that event, we could also do that. So this is what I'm thinking, all right? Special marathon, me dressing up in football attire and having silly snacks and silly hats and things that I could wear over the course of the day related to American football, reacting to a variety of ads based from the Super Bowl from yesteryear, and possibly playing a bunch of older, football games, okay? Sounds like an interesting idea, something I've never done before. You guys seem to like relaxing with me when I do these silly marathons no matter what. Here's one that's completely outside of anything I've done before, right? So, with this being said, let's start hyping this up for February. Now, when is the Super Bowl? Good question. Typically, it's held in early February. And I say typically because sometimes it could be different. Let me check if they have a date for it yet. Super Bowl Sunday 2023. Sunday, February 12th. So here's the deal. If we're going to do this, we will do it on Saturday, February 11th. Why the day before? Because that way you can watch my special event, get hyped for the Super Bowl, but also watch the Super Bowl the next day and not have it hinder the event. Okay? here for the Christmas marathon. Maybe you weren't here for the WWE Sims on Saturday, but you still wanted to help out your fellow viewer, your next festive spirit. If you gift members today, it counts towards the event for February. All right? And by the way, if we do hit 600 members and we hit it relatively quickly, which we might not, but if we do, then we can discuss a tier 2 reward. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I think some people got a misunderstanding, because over the month of December I said, so our goal was, I forget what it was, 575 members. And I said, hey, and then if we happen to hit that goal, during the course of November, and, we have some time, we could talk about a tier 2 goal possibly, which will probably be about 50 more members. And I'm thinking it'll be a reactive event or something. But let's hit the tier 1 goal first before we get ahead of ourselves. I don't want to overpromise, so I never did. So then we hit the goal, and someone was, oh, what about a tier 2 goal? I was like, wait, what? Like, we're at the end of the month. We don't have time. There's no pressure for that now. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I want you guys to understand the way it works is we work towards the tier 1 goal. If we happen to hit it in a relatively early time frame, then we can discuss what do you guys want for tier 2, and we can work on that. But I don't want to promise multiple tiers, and then you don't know what's going on, and then, people are expecting things that aren't going to happen, all right? So I'm crushing all of that. If there was any misunderstanding in December, I apologize. That was never promised. What I will tell you this. In 2023, new things are going to happen. Let's put it that way. I already have plans for interesting new things to happen next year. And as a result of that, I don't want you to feel like, oh, well, I was expecting a bunch of new stuff, and where is it? I wanted a cool reactive event or whatever. Let me just put it this way. All right? Just be a little patient. It's coming. And in fact, I have a few things already in the works. Basically, for me to get started on anything new, we have to finish what's already lingering, which means I have to finish these ongoing playthroughs that I'm working on. I have to do my year-end series of the most disappointing games and the Game of the Year awards. And once that's all done and we're wrapping up all the loose ends for 2022, then we can move full force into 2023. New decorations for the streams, a new attitude, new content. You'll see. But we got to get there, all right? And we're